Hey guys, this is God of Politics. I'm going to be a brand new video, but before we get started with this video, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Also follow me on Twitter and join the Discord. Those are both linked down in the description. But in today's video, I am going to be talking about the recent special election that we had in New Mexico's 1st congressional district, where Democrats actually overperformed their 2020 election result. Now, as you can see here, Melanie Stansbury, the Democrat, beat Mark Moores by 24.6 percentage points. And this was a pretty big win, because not only was this an outperformance of Deb Haaland's win in 2020, which was 16.4 percentage points here, but it was also an outperformance of Joe Biden's result, who had a very strong performance here. He won the district by 23 percentage points, with Melanie Stansbury winning it by 26.4 percentage points. So about a 24.6 percentage points. So about a 1.6 percentage point overperformance by Melanie Stansbury compared to Joe Biden's result. And this is quite an interesting result to analyze. And I'm not going to extrapolate much out of this in terms of the midterms or anything, because really there's not much you can extrapolate out of these kinds of results. It's just one special election. We've had other results that have gone the Republicans' way. We've had some that have gone the Democrats' way. So this is just another election out of many that we're going to be seeing before the 2022 midterms. But looking at this, we can see here that Melanie Stansbury actually cracked 60%, which was very strong performance, because if you compare that to the 2020 result, Deb Haaland only got 58%, and that was only between two candidates, and she, of course, won by 16 percentage points. Biden did crack 60% here, but his opponent, Trump, obviously only got 37%, whereas Melanie Stansbury's opponent got 35%. So it is quite an interesting result, and Melanie Stansbury virtually outperformed everywhere. She won the Bernalillo County portion of it, 61.3 to 34.9. That was an area that Deb Haaland won by 59.3 to 40.7%. And this is quite interesting, because you do have a lot of whiter voters in the Albuquerque area that have shifted towards the Democrats in recent years. Back in 2004, when John Kerry lost the state to George Bush, he actually only won the current boundaries of New Mexico's 1st district by 3 percentage points, and that is in part because George Bush not only did better with Hispanic voters in the region, but he did better with white voters in the suburban areas, college-educated white voters that have shifted towards the Democratic Party, and that's part of the reason that Joe Biden overperformed Deb Haaland, because in most suburban districts, Biden was a much better candidate than the down-ballot Democrats, these historically Republican districts, or districts that have historically been more Republican, and that was seen here. But it's quite impressive that Melanie Stansbury did do better, and it's a bit of a mixed bag in terms of doing better with white voters, doing better with Hispanic voters. As we can see here, there's a map by J. Miles Coleman comparing the result of Melanie Stansbury to the result of Barack Obama and the result compared to Joe Biden. And you can see here, compared to Barack Obama, she did much better in the white majority areas, particularly the areas in eastern Albuquerque, whereas in the areas in southwestern Albuquerque, she didn't do as well. And Obama won this area by 22.1 percentage points, which is more than 4 points less than what Stansbury won it by. Now, she only won it by 1% more than what Joe Biden won it by, and it's a bit more of a mixed bag. She did do well in the more central Albuquerque area, the downtown Albuquerque area, but worse in the suburban and exurban areas, but only slightly worse. And it's quite interesting to see, because I believe the most Hispanic state house district did trend heavily towards Melanie Stansbury. I think that she got around 77%, whereas Biden only got about 70%. But the next two most Hispanic, I think, trended slightly towards the Republicans. So it's a bit of a mixed bag, and that's why, again, you can't extrapolate too much out of this, because it is just a special election. And while turnout was lower, it actually was the highest out of any special election we've had so far. We had 131,000 people turn out, which I believe is about 40% of the turnout we had in this race in the 2020 election. We had 130,000 in this election, 321,000 in the election in 2020. And so, going back county by county result, of course, I pointed out she did better in Bernalillo County. She also did better in Torrance County, losing it by 21 percentage points, whereas Michelle Garcia Holmes beat Deb Haaland by 35 percentage points. So that she actually outperformed the most in this area. Of course, that area doesn't have very many votes, so of course that makes a little bit more sense. She lost the Valencia portion by 5 percentage points. That's an area that Deb Haaland lost by 6 percentage points. The Santa Fe part, she lost by almost 30 points. and that's an area that Melanie Stansbury lost by just 16 or 17 percentage points about. And then the Sandoval County portion, she won by about 24 points. That's an area that Deb Haaland only won by 11 points. So it's clear she outperformed everywhere, and that is a very strong result. And what it can tell us a little bit, at least I can say, it can tell us a little bit about how redistricting might go. Now, if you saw my video a couple days ago doing a prediction for the New Mexico redistricting, I did predict that the Democrats would go for a map where there are 3 Democrats and 0 Republicans. Now, I do have a lot of doubts about this map because the State House and State Senate did unanimously pass a proposal which would make it so that there's an independent redistricting commission. Of course, the commission can produce their proposals and the legislature can completely ignore it and make their own map, but that may be easier said than done because the native groups, which as you can see here are in the darker areas of this map over here, these are the native areas. They do have specific demands about what district they want to be in, which could complicate making a 3-0 map. So I really could see them making a 2-1 map or a 3-0 map. I'm leaning towards actually saying it's a 2-1 map now. But after these results, maybe it gives Democrats some hope that they could get a 3-0 map because, of course, you know, everyone wants a fair map, or at least most people want a fair map. But many Democrats do want a 3-0 map, and that could be helped by the fact that Melanie Stansbury did do well in this district. The fact that she won by almost 25 percentage points, outrunning Biden, shows that she's at least somewhat of a strong candidate and can get voters to turn out for her. And of course, again, you can't extrapolate too much out of one special election, but you'd rather have her do well than not do well. And of course, she did end up doing well. Now, I said I wouldn't extrapolate too much out of it for the midterms, but I do want to kind of add this to this whole list here of the special elections we've had since the 2020 election and how Democrats have done in these special elections. Now, I actually don't know who made this. I remember being it sent to me a couple months ago, but it is quite interesting because we do have the swing that we've had. We have the simple partisan lean and the special election margin, comparing the margin of the special election to the margin of the district as a whole. What is the swing? Well, the average swing that we've had in all of these elections so far is D+2. So Democrats have actually done better in these special elections. Of course, you can see the Congressional District 5, for example, where Julia Letlow did very well. Texas is 6, where the Republicans did very well there. But of course, you can also see the New Mexico's 1st, where Democrats did a lot better there as well. So there's a lot of different things to note here. Republicans outperformed in some, Democrats outperformed in others. Some were very big, some were very small, but overall it averages out to D+2, which is actually quite a strong performance because if you look at 2008 and 2009 or 2017 and 2018, it was pretty clear that Republicans were going to have a strong year in 2010 and Democrats were going to have a strong year in 2018. There really isn't that same kind of indication here. And of course, things could change. Biden could get more unpopular, just like Barack Obama did in late 2009, early 2010, and eventually going up to the 2010 midterms, or Trump could get more unpopular like he did. But of course, there were special elections in 2017 where Republicans did well, like Georgia's 6th congressional district, which ended up flipping in 2018. So there's many exceptions to this, which again is why we can't extrapolate too much out of it. But overall, good night for Democrats, but just one of many nights that are going to be coming up to decide who is eventually going to control the House in 2022. This stuff does give Democrats another cushion, another seat, a 4-seat cushion they have now. Very, very narrow. It's going to be hard to keep the House in 2022, but we will see what happens. So thank you all for watching this video. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Also follow me on Twitter and join the Discord. Those are both linked down in the description. But again, guys, thank you all for watching this video, and I will see you guys later.